Economy Expo Dubai, Expo 2020, and today Relictum is here. Relictum is sponsor, Relictum is exhibitor, and Alexander Strigin, CTO of Relictum Pro, is speaker today. So, what's going on here? Let's go, I will show you. There is different interesting stands and NFT gallery, and of course Relictum stand. Here is Relictum NFT touch panel, and we can see here all about Relictum, all size, node, and different details. And here is Relictum stand. So, what we are showing here? Let's ask about CTO Relictum Pro Alexander Strigin, and he will tell us, okay? Today you are speaker. What your speech about?
My speech was about our project Relictum Pro, about our Relictum NFT marketplace. So I just try to tell a little story for our Arabian colleges and our Arabian and partners from all over the world about our project.
We want to attract transactions and blockchain users to our ecosystem. And today, NFT, it is not only amusing pictures for millions of dollars, it's direction like NFT appeared long before it, and it began from not amusing pictures, but from understandable each other digital items. And our company have studied, have learned experience of all existing projects in NFT industry, and have created and taken best of them, and have created optimal for structure and cross-chain interoperability token like Relictum non-fungible token. And not only token and marketplace. So you may create a token through our node.
So what we are presenting?
So we present first of all our ecosystem. We present all our products like on blockchain live, and of course today we present our NFT. Too many Pakistani and Indian developers come to us today and trying to know a little bit about our NFT standard and NFT SDK to create their own marketplace and start selling or purchasing some NFT.
The Relictum design is about the professional community that can earn the adding money from the selling of the arts. So in that way, designers can make art without buyer.
If you want to find something special to design project, welcome to Relictum NFT Design.
Yeah.
After that exhibition, what do you know about other people, about other companies?
I feel some relaxed. I feel some relaxed because this weather, this good wine, so many attractive people, everybody laugh and smile. So yes, I feel positive emotions.
I wanted to tell you that Relictum Pro is the best company in that exhibition. The most technology, the most innovations, and really blockchain technology. I totally impressed when you told that we are not concept.
Yes.
We are today, we are work today. And all people who was here, so everyone asked us, really? It's true? Are you working? Really? Free transactions? And I'm totally impressed about it, about us, and thank you so much that you are here, that Relictum's team here. Welcome to our stand, welcome to all events where are you.
Now I can see a lot of plus signs. Very good. Okay, guys. Hello, everyone. Good evening, or whatever time of day it is in the place where you're watching. We haven't gotten together for a while now. Those of you who don't know me, I'm Vitaly. I'm from the marketing department of Relictum Pro. And today we are having our next edition of Ask Live session. And as you know, and we announced a special, very special guest for today. Put in the comments your versions who that very special guest might be for today. While you're printing it, I would ask you to participate in the life of our project more actively. Please do reposts, write comments, give us feedback. Now I'm reading your comments. Ksenia, third admin, Mr. Osipenko, Elon Musk, very funny, Cherkashin, Roman Cherkashin. Bravo. Actually, it is Roman. Roman, hi. Hello, guys. Happy to see all of you, and I was missing all of you. Hello, guys. I'm reading comment section, and I see that many of you guessed right. Over to you, Vitaly. Hello, Roman. In fact, the format of our Ask Live session is well known by now. But as long as the users haven't talked to us and haven't communicated with us for a while, we would like to start it by saying that, make an announcement that you and Alexander visited Maltese event, some kind of exhibition. Can you tell us very briefly about how it was? In fact, it was a fun event. It wasn't one event. There were two of them in about the same venues at about the same time. It was a conference dedicated to Web3, TV5, and all sorts of other blockchain technologies. It was called ABC Europe. I made a presentation during the panel session. Alexander also made a presentation at the panel session, but on another day. In fact, it was a real fun event. We attended a number of other events. We have things to compare it to. And in fact, I haven't seen people as open as there. And to tell you the truth, I would say that this is the influence of the industry and what the industry is going through. We have attended many other industries where you approach a representative of any other team and they tell you, well, yeah, maybe you're nice guys, but we are doing quite well. Our project is developing. We don't want to collaborate with anybody else. And basically, nobody was keen on collaborating. But now it's a different story. It's an absolutely opposite sentiment. When the market is shocked by a number of bankruptcies, when major companies and hedge funds and venture capitals are on the verge of a collapse, it's interesting to observe how people react to that in low-key projects and starting projects. They're quite open for a conversation. Now they look at new opportunities, new synergies, because what we could feel and taste in the air, that it's high time for the industry to change. No projects with bad business model can survive or survive single-handedly. Secondly, there were a lot of blockchain developments. We got in touch with a number of very good specialists. We were invited also to another event, by the way. And we could see from get-go that people are not standing still and the actual blockchain technology is not going away anytime soon. Of course, there are some unknown DeFi projects or huge API, 30,000% interest per year. You can see it's scams. Those were scams, but as far as the EFI projects at the initial stage, they were quite excited and thrilled by the Relictum project because they are attracted to that technological part of our project, that quick transactions, which can be effected in less than 1 second, are good, that they're not going to affect in any way the gaming process. Nothing is going to be slowed down because of this. Besides, we talk to payment processing centers because we're also interested in possibility of using GTN as SDR as potential means of payment in different projects. On-ramp, off-ramp. Of course, guys were saying, okay, of course, but then they said, but so far we are unable to do that, or there is some kind of regulation in the way. Anyway, it was a very good experience for us. We saw that, in fact, industry does have some things to offer, but there is a lot of room for improvement. As for Sigma, that was the second conference organized on the same venue. It was mostly about gambling. It's all sorts of GambleBet and other guys like that. Also, we found it very interesting. As an industry, it is very robust, and judging from stats, you could see that they're doing quite well. And that is why we have offered to many of them to do the transition to blockchain, to make it more transparent, to open up new opportunities. Some companies found it very exciting and interesting. But anyway, it wasn't something that we were absolutely focused on. We just attended it as a side event. It goes without saying that our visit was very productive. We have filled up our portfolio of potential clients with quite well-known people, and there are other contacts we can work on in the immediate future. Very cool, great. In fact, such events are always very useful, even in terms of getting to know people. Some people are saying that, why didn't you raise, I don't know, billions or millions? But everything in our world builds on acquaintances, on friends and contacts. That is why we are now building a very strong foundation, right? Exactly. Never more so that now we have interacted with Genesis and somebody else. We don't want to fill up our clientele list with guys who are close on the bankruptcy. Yes, the situation on the market is highly unstable at the moment. I agree with you. So I suggest we move over to the actual Ask Live session. Why not? Actually, we have stockpiled quite a number of questions here because it's been a while when we last went live, so we are not going to go through the whole list of questions today. We'll give you a portion or a taste of that. I will cut it up for a number of other Ask Live sessions. That is why, as of today, we are resuming our Ask Live sessions. We are going to organize them preliminarily once every 2 weeks. Okay, let's go. Question number 1. How to tell GTN, real GTN tokens from fake ones? Well, in fact, this question is similar to well, it's quite a silly question because the real GTN token can be found only in a Relictum network. if you're going visiting other networks and find GTN tokens there, then you can know for sure that they're fakes. They're not related to Relictum in any way. That's a simple answer to your question. Another thing to add is that there is no second GTN token that is possible in Relictum network. Why we decided to voice this question, because a couple of months ago, somebody wrote to me, to my personal account, that what's going on. Somebody told us that some fake GTN tokens are out in the world now. Please rely only on the official information, and if you're in doubt, please approach and ask our admins questions. This is the simplest solution for you. Next question. It can be combined. We can combine 3 questions because all of them are about the same thing. You have announced the burning of 5 billion tokens, 2 billion tokens are sold. Other 3 billion, what are you going to do with them? Are these tokens belonging to the team? Are you going to freeze them? Can you please tell us more about the tokenomics? Very good question, in fact. Why the burn up of token emission is done? To reduce the washout of the token circulation. This is reason number 1. Secondly, we find ourselves in a process of creating white paper 2.0 for Relictum 2.0. And this is why, even at that conference, we met a number of companies who are very good in analysis of tokenomics and know things about business models. And that's why we would like to rely not only on our vision and our expertise, we would also like to outsource third-party resources for independent analysis to understand the realities that we'll have to operate in without us building some castles out of sand. And we're going to answer all these questions in the new tokenomics. So it's still work in progress. Also, I would like to reveal a small inside information that we have decided to work on the global update of the white paper. We're going to update our white paper. It's going to be called Relictum 2.0. And along with that, we'll have tokenomics. Moving on, next question. Recently, I heard news that in order to transfer token to GTN, we need to have a certain number of USDRs in our R-Node wallet. If it is true, then how much USDR must we have for 1,000 GTNs? I think what the person really meant is how to transfer it from the wallet, from Relictum wallet to, say, L-Bank wallets. And I can answer this question, saying that in order to transfer GTN tokens from your node to L-Bank wallet so that you can trade it, it's not going to cost you anything, because with L-Bank, we have native integration. Native integration, you understand what native is. We're not going to go through any bridges or any wrappers of token. No, within, just like it works just like within the native Relictum network. All the operations within are done free of charge. So no commissions are going to be charged to, say, replenish your wallet on L-Bank. Okay, I will reiterate once again and remind our users that all transactions within Relictum network are free, totally free of charge. You pay 0 commission. Moving on. Here we see a question about Roman Cherkashin. Actually, there were a lot of questions for us live because users were looking forward to talking to you. So here I am. So I'm right here. Good. Here I am. Next question. Can you tell us about the Relictum company directors, what functions they perform, and what their background is before they start to work in Relictum? In fact, it's a very good question. And I believe that each one of our directors should answer on their behalf. As for me, I can tell you what my background was. As for other guys, I think it would be more fair, like Alexander Strygin. I think he will tell you himself at one of the future Ask Lives. As for me, I've graduated from 2 universities. My first education, I'm a teacher. My second university degree is economics with summa cum laude. I started working in a team that was developing and disseminating a software for stock exchange work. You can Google for it. In the beginning of my career, I worked in a tech support. After that, this project turned over into TradingView. What you see at all the stock exchanges and the sites elsewhere. As long as I was a member of the previous team, I logically moved over to the new team. And before 2020, I was vice president on partnership. In other words, I was disseminating charging libraries. These are graphical components for graph designs that you use at stock exchanges or elsewhere. And I have dedicated a lot of my time to this. I've garnered new contacts. I got to meet representatives of different stock exchanges. And after that, I went to FKX. I was FTX stock exchange representative in Russia. I was doing marketing. I was also organizing support for local community in CIS region. But something, I guess, sidetracked me from that, and I decided to quit it because I gradually saw what it was going down to. I didn't like their attitude to new projects. Try to imagine there were some tokens like NAPS or Mango, something like that, that was issued on Solana. Try to imagine what they tried to do there. Try to imagine that you're a fund, you have a lot of monies, but you're also a stock exchange. You can circulate a lot of liquidity. What they did, they invested funds into a project and then appointed certain day as IDO, initial DEX for when token will be listed at the DEX on Solana platform. Parallel to that, almost at the same time, FTX did listing for the futures for this token. What we know about futures is that they can be short sold and win on the dropping of the price. So basically, if we took at any project that invested into it, you could see that the first bar, the first 1 to 5 minutes, it was growing like 100 times. Then it went down, and then there was a constant reduction without any spikes. What they did, they short sold it in the maximum amount by taking the liquidity of all people who wanted to play for the upbringing of the price. So basically, they were simply haircutting the funds. They kept their investments in the project. They kept their good reputation that they are developing crypto industry, but in fact, they were making money on these listings. And every 3-4 weeks, even more frequently, they organized such issuances. Another thing was Alameda was hunting waves. I guess you read the news, you know, this CIS spread project waves, and They're very good, actually. They also had their own blockchain, their own system, lending and borrowing, and interest rates on the deposits. And what Alameda did, they put a number of millions of dollars on the Waves protocol, took under this collateral a lot of Waves tokens. They had native integration only with Binance, put it on Binance, quite a significant amount actually. They have done listing on their exchange for Waves, and they started to simply sell all Waves tokens, and the market went down, and they started to go down on their stock exchange on Binance. And eventually it ended up with nothing because Waves managed to survive in spite of all the difficulties. But then the exchange rate, first it went up, then it plummeted down. Most of the people simply were haircut, as we call it, or shaved. And I felt no trust to those guys a year ago. And now I read the news and I see that I was absolutely right, that I didn't trust them. And it's my best wise decision that I quit it at the earliest stage. Now I occupy the position of the head of business development department in the Relictum. And what we're doing here, we're looking for new partnerships and new contacts. Naturally, what is happening in this industry, all these crashes around us, collapses, I don't know, crises since 2008, 2014, all of it affects the health of the industry because everyone is focusing on their individual projects, helping them to survive. But still, there are a lot of people who want to build something new, to move forward, so that when the industry cleans itself up from all the bad seed projects, so that we can reoccupy all the niches. In fact, that's it. What's the next question? So please attend our online webinars, and perhaps in future, somebody else from our management will attend and tell you about their background. You can ask the same question, and I'm sure we'll hear very interesting life stories filled up with a lot of expertise and experience. Moving on now, next question. When will we see GTN on DEX? I guess it's too early to talk about it now because we are planning on focusing on centralized stock exchanges mostly. I will tell you why. We don't want to waste liquidity on pools of internal exchange, but instead attract them from outside. I'm talking about tax in centralized exchanges. Understood. In other words, to clarify, GTN listing a DEX exchange on our decentralized Relictum exchange so far is not in our plans. Next question. We read it every day in our chats. When are you planning the next listing? And how many exchanges would you like to use to list your token? Well, of course, we would like to do it at all and once again. But what is happening in the industry is changing our approaches and originally made decisions. I will tell you why. We have organized a lot of thorough work and negotiations with the representatives of exchanges and hobby walks and others and even Coinbase. But after the panic of decentralized exchanges started, Gate.io couldn't show its reports about how they use client money. Or finance, of course, is good, but so far they're an unachievable goal, but we'll approach it sooner or later, of course. Coinbase also was experiencing problems because of Genesis, and so far they suspended their operations on decentralized exchanges, but not for long, I guess. We're just looking at who is going to survive this turmoil, not to waste the resources, be it financial or human resources, on the work which is not going to deliver any results. I think very soon it will become clear who will go bankrupt, who will not, who will close their account, who will not, and those who will survive this crypto winter will be able to deal with them. But still, we are watching the radar. We keep monitoring and making posts in Telegram. We tell our users what our plans are, and we see real support from them. Some of them are offering specialized conditions, unlike others, which is very good and beneficial for us. We'll wait and see where this crypto winter will lead us. Those of them who will survive will work with them. And those who will quit and die, that's life. Yes, now it's such a saying will be very good. Haste makes waste, right? That will fit the circumstances very well. That is why we value our reputation, our projects. We value our community. We value the wealth of our community. So you understand, if we put GTN token on any exchange which goes bankrupt, this way we would have risked the losses for our community. We don't need this headache now, right? So it's better to sit on the fence at this moment in time. Next question. I'm going to answer it. When are you going to do GitHub? Because it hasn't been updated for a while. I talked today to our CEO, who at the same time is a technical director, Alexander Strygin, and I've received information from him that GitHub is on the short to-do list, and now they're negotiating with Cerdic company. I think you have heard about such an enterprise, and we hope that very soon GitHub will be updated and this project will receive good update. Next question. Why such a project as Relictum, after exchange listing, is so small volume-wise? In other words, why the volume is so modest? Very good question. Again, I can answer it based on the experience that I have received after attending the event that I described previously. In fact, any event that you see on the exchange, I'd say big share of it is a wash up when they do it against themselves, when they sell and buy themselves. We got together with a number of market makers at such exhibitions, and they told us interesting stories. Their first question to us was, what is the volume on this exchange? And actually, the exchange that we chose was the best you could think of, because others are either grinding into a standstill or not working at all. They're asking of us about the volume per day. We told them, they told us, well, it's a very good volume. because many people pay, I don't know, certain amount. They say, we give you $50,000. We want to see them say 1 million or 1.5 million as a volume of a trading volume. They say, okay, and market makers can do it for you for this kind of money. In fact, the only sense behind this is simply to show beautiful number. So the price is not going to move up or down because of this. It will simply increase the volume of trade. Maybe somebody else volume-wise, if we rank it, they will also pop up in the search engines. But if it is done by a certain person or a company, it's not going to affect the price. Then why waste money on this? And the experienced market maker, when he looks at the market diagram, they will see where market maker here or there entered or exited. They looked at our diagram and they said, well, you're doing quite well. We said, yes, we have calculation that it's quite organic. This volume is very organic, something that the users are shaping up. And we have never focused on the need to show big volumes, and we never tried to attempt to manipulate the pricing or other things. I think it stands to logic to say, here you have the token, here's the market, you trade. Instead of attracting people into traps of market makers, take money from them, showing abrupt peaks up or down to liquidate some positions. In fact, this is a very good indicator for a project that first, the level is good. We saw recently, I forget the name now of that coin, that guy was at that exhibition. He said, I represent such and such project, a blockchain ecosystem. He looked very nice and an expensive suit, but a bit drunk. If we look at his reports, at his market marker, and we saw that the price was there, that it went all the way down to the floor. And what the most interesting thing is, the trading volume per day in his project was $161. What do you think? In this case, I think this is, of course, scraping the barrel bottom. So our level, I'd say, is quite organically good. And it's only the beginning, of course. That's what I can say. We started on September 29th, and we are showing stable volumes every day. So we're doing great. We are going to improve, of course. There's another saying that fits it very well. It's better to be than to seem to be. Okay, next question. Are you going to add other trading pairs to our token on the exchange? I think in this case, this is not what we need. I will explain why. First of all, any pair costs money. This is really expensive. It's better to spend this money to attract some additional clients for plan development or marketing. Next, second pair can be like Bitcoin, right? But you saw what's going on with Bitcoin now. It's not really doing well at the moment. So it's better and easier to tie up the coin to stable coin, to make it more stable instead of pairing it with something more dodgy. To answer your question, so far we are not planning to pair it with anything else. Perfect. Next question. Every new exchange is going to establish its own listing rate, or is it going to start from the current price of the market? I'm interested how you come up with a starting price. If we speak about second, third, and subsequent listings, of course, they're going to take the price closest to the current price traded at some other exchange. And then it's going to be equally weighted price when they will take the index. So from the two info suppliers, they add one to another and subdivide it in two or three or how many to get the fair price. Because if somebody bought up a lot or sold a lot at one of the exchange and the price went up or went down, and there is a small peak, but in fact the price is not changing really. To avoid such situations on other markets, so that this automatically wouldn't drive those systems crazy. In any case, the price is taken from the current price. Nobody's going to do it randomly, because if we randomize the price, somebody pays for it, because most people think that it is the users are paying for that, but it's not our choice. And this is also a question for our future prospects when we're going to do the second listing. Okay, thank you very much. Very interesting. Next question. Is it technically possible to create a Relictum blockchain, a mobile communication like it is done in secret chat, but only mobile communication? I guess it's highly unlikely, because we're talking about totally different technologies, because mobile communication means a lot of hardware, some receivers, transmitters, or renting of the existing hardware. So we're not talking about this, or if we should consider it, then I don't know when it can happen. Some remote future, maybe. The next question is, why would we need that if current technologies are working quite well, allowing users to use high-speed internet without using blockchain? In fact, we don't need to reinvent the wheel here. And secondly, you don't need to sophisticate something that already works. In fact, now any mobile communication that all of us are using is a centralized resource, whereas centralization and blockchain are two things which do not crisscross, because blockchain is about decentralization, not centralization. Okay, as a potential option, somebody say buys an antenna, like one person's node is say one antenna, and they organize this mobile communication network. But we are talking about huge investments, a lot of capital investments here. It's going to be Tsar or a general antenna, right? Yes. Next question. We saw projects, crypto projects. I think I've answered this question already, because time is not ripe for that now. Secondly, I can tell you that we are working on that. We meet people, we get together, we negotiate things. But to say that here we got to know this kind of people and we are going to partner with them, this is not the type of marketing we would like to use. We would like to use some end result. But to approach the end result, we need some time and to spend some efforts, time, and money on that. As soon as we get some results, you will be the first to know, of course. Understood. Next question. What number of tokens will be made available for the sale at L Bank exchange? You understand very well that it largely depends on all of us, in fact. It depends on how many tokens you're going to transfer there. It's all a stock exchange box, and every market player has either stable coins or GTM. and the more people would be willing to sell, the more will be the offer. The more people will want to buy, the more will be the demand. And then you look at the economics textbooks to see what this demand, supply and demand can lead to. So the whole volume of tokens which are traded at LBank are shaped up by the actual people, users. If you're prepared, you can trade in millions of dollars there every minute of your time. It directly depends on the market. We are not manipulating the market in any way. Yes, that's right. Are there any planned dates for LBank promotions? We would like to hear some news about that. Of course, because we haven't spent all the venues of cooperation with them, we still have in our arsenal a number of different advertisements and promotion, and of course the competition that we're planning for the future. But we want to organize the trading competition based on the number of new users. But before launching some new events, we are working on the increasing our audience, our users of LBank or some other exchanges. I guess anybody can become part of this process and post links to Relictum webpage or LBank site with our pair in order to increase the clickability. Very soon, I guess, we'll see this, and it's quite possible that it will happen before the next year. What else can I announce now? We even have trading competition model, and we're going to attract a lot of traders through this. So it's going to be quite a major competition. But again, we need to wait a bit because at this moment in time is not really ripe. It's not opportune time for that. I talked to a number of other users. I have friends who are professional traders. I have friends who are analysts. All of them repeat the same thing. Most users are quite cautious to invest or enter something new, some new projects. So now is the time when everybody has entered the winter hibernation. And very soon, I'm sure the market will be turned around and we'll be able to harness this opportunity. Next question. I will answer that. During your interview to Malaysia blogger, you mentioned decentralization of centralized storage. Are you planning to create updated remote depository within that project? I guess that is the user from Russia who was asking that question, considering that function would have greatly improved our opportunities. Yes, we're planning a major large-scale update of storage, a small inside information that I can share with you. Now, Alexander is negotiating with one very respectable and major company, and if it pans out well, unfortunately, I cannot reveal the name of that company at this moment in time. But if it works out fine, then we'll get a very robust and right away updated digital safe Relictum project. That's all I can tell you at this moment in time. Next question. That would be the final question for today's Ask Live. When are you going to have staking at the exchange? I guess we already have it. No, we don't. But it's included into the LBank options. Okay, I can answer this. Okay, go ahead. LBank, according to our original agreements, provides an opportunity or an option to add our token to staking section on the exchange. And as a result, our users or clients will be able to use the second type of staking. There will be a possibility to choose between two stakings for them. Again, this is an option that is going to be activated not right away. All the things that we have with all the agreements that we have with LBank, we stay true to them, or they continue their commitment throughout all our cooperation, but we are not going to do the staking on the exchange in the immediate future, but maybe soon. That's all for today. Thank you, Roman, for finding time in your busy schedule. Pleasure was all mine. I'm always eager to communicate with people and answer their questions. Спасибо, что пригласили. Looking forward to our future meetings. That's it. Bye-bye. Enjoy this evening. Love each other. Love Relictum. Trust in yourself. Thank you, Roman, once again. And don't forget to give us likes, give us a thumbs up, write comments, give us feedback, repost us, show us to your friends, colleagues, and promote the project. It's going to be great. I wish everybody kindness, good evening, and enjoy yourself. See you next time.